everyone, Elite here with a new process video for Hip Kit Club, and today my theme or assignment is a product focus, and the product for today are stamps. Or the product is stamps. Stamps are the product. I'm not sure. Any English teachers, help me out. Anywho, so I am using the stamp set from the September kit as well as the gorgeous Maggie Holmes stamp set from the August kits. I still haven't received my October kits, which are amazing, and once I get those, I'll post, of course, a share video on my channel. So I already played quite a bit with the stamps in my previous video, which was a mixed media video as well, as this one is also. And there I showed how to stamp with mists. So make sure you check out that video as well, and you can see how I created the flowers that you see on the screen on the right side next to my bottle. So this time I'm showing you basically stamping, but I'm using Distress Oxide inks, which are fantastic. I love them. They are, I don't know, like a hybrid ink. They are quite opaque and beautiful, and you can do all kinds of techniques with them. I'm keeping it simple this time. I'm just slightly misting my stamps, but this was very, very subtle. I just wanted the ink a little bit more activated, a little bit more flowing. If you spray them with water more heavily after you ink them up, you will get more of that watercolored look, or you will activate the oxides more, and then they become kind of like a chalky finish. So they're just a lot of fun, and I think almost all of the inks here are colors that we got in previous color kits. So I did buy a few on my own, so I don't remember exactly which came where or how, but you can check out the Hip Kit Club website and take a look. The color kits are just a really great way of building up your stash, and you can really carry on those products, you know, inks and mists and paints. They will last you for years, really. So I just played around with inking up the stamps in different colors, and I'm sorry I was talking throughout that part of the video, but it's really, really straightforward. You just ink up different areas of the stamp in different colors. Now, you will get your ink pads a little bit dirty, a little bit contaminated, so I tried to go from light to dark and also really ink up the stamps with the edges of my ink pad. I don't really care if they get a bit dirty, but if you do care about that, then you can be a bit more careful. Also, the way to avoid contaminating your ink pads is to use something like a stamping platform, and this way, you know, your stamp will stamp exactly in the same spot over and over again. So you can just ink with one color, stamp, then ink with the other color and stamp again, and this way your ink pads won't be contaminated. The rest of this is pretty straightforward. I mean, it took me a bit. I think this layout took me about 40 minutes to complete. I sped it up, of course, here, but not super fast. So I think it's like 3 times the speed, something like that. This was just a lot of fun to make. I wasn't really sure which direction I was going, so I started with grabbing some photos that I had already printed. I think they're all not very recent, and this is a really great way of just, you know, using up some photos that you printed in the past, also smaller photos. I used a bunch of the frames, mostly the chipboard frames that we got in the kit. These are from Pink Fresh Studio, the Indigo Hills 2 collection, which is just beautiful. I love the color scheme here. This is so my kind of colors for autumn, I would say I am super happy about the purples and those kind of warm pinks and pops of yellow. I love that so much more than brown. Basically, I love any color more than brown. Brown, red, and green. Well, some shades of green are just not colors I want to use in my scrapbooking, but you can see the color scheme here is just beautiful. I think Pink Fresh Studio are one of those companies out there nowadays that are really, I would say, kind of design forward in their designs. They look unique, and they kind of, I feel like they give us a really great variety of products. Their collections are different from one another, and it's just, I'm really, really enjoying. The products are high quality. I love their chipboard pieces. Their cardstock stickers are also fantastic. So this kit, the September kits, were really full of these products, and I had a lot of fun using them. So for my background, I'm kind of building it on this piece of purple cardstock. I love purple, and I love these types of purple, the lighter purples. When it gets to dark colors, that's where I find things, I just don't like dark colors in my scrapbooking. I love to keep things light and bright, and yeah, but I do like purple, and I'm super happy to see more and more collections having shades of purple in them. It could hardly be found in scrapbooking collections, you know, a year ago, and now it is more popular, and I'm happy about it because I do like purple. I have to say it's probably my favorite color. So yeah, and I was just building it. You saw I used these ripped pieces of pattern paper, and I have a bigger area on the top, and then on the bottom I just have a hint of that pattern paper. And I'm actually going to use, I would say, the smaller photos almost as an embellishment here. I have the main photo there of Ella with her father's sunglasses. I do like how that looks. Actually, the photo was taken, I think, 1.5 years ago or 2.5 years ago, and she was hugging a bottle, pretending it was a baby. I don't know why, but that's the photo. And I did already scrap some similar photos, but that particular one I haven't, and I had it already printed. So I used it here, and I also used a couple of other photos. And basically what I'm doing now is I'm building the layers, adding the embellishments, and the majority of them are those stamped flowers, a few from the Vicky Boutin set from the September kits, and then a few from the Maggie Holmes one in October. And of course, everything works perfectly together. You know, stamps is one of those super versatile products, and my favorites are floral stamps. It's just, those are my favorites. Those are my go-to. I can use them over and over again. I love embossing them and then watercoloring them. I love to stamp them in just simple black ink and leave it black and white for that more graphic contrast look, which you can pair with any other color scheme. And I also love using them in this more colorful way, stamping with mists for that more watercolor look, or just inks, and in this case really playing with the color transitions. You can see I used, I would say, not really traditional colors for these pieces. Sometimes I made the leaves pink and the flowers more yellow, and then I have a piece there which the center of the flower is purple, and then the surrounding area is pink, and then the leaves are more yellow. So you can do whatever you want, and I really like that flexibility, and just, you know, you can really get your money's worth out of these. Especially the Maggie Holmes set is, you know, really small, but so effective and so pretty. So I really, really enjoyed that. And then the Vicky Boutin ones, they come also with the dies, which, you know, saves you a lot of time. fussy cutting, so I do like that. Now I'm just adding more embellishments. I added my title there, and I added one of those faux suede kind of pom-pom flower bits. I love how that looks. And then at the bottom I have one of those thread bows from Maggie Holmes, which are also beautiful. And I topped it with one of the wood veneers, like these colored painted wood veneer pieces from Pink Fresh Studio. You can see that pack on the top left corner of the screen. It was just really, really fun. This part was really fun, and you can totally customize this to fit your own style. So I went, I would say, a bit more busy, embellished here. I also added some the leaves that you see, those blue leaves that I added behind the floral pieces. Those I fussy cut from the pattern papers in the Indigo Hills collection, and I just fussy cut a bunch of them for a previous layout, and I always tend to just cut a bunch of them and then I can use them in other layouts, which I did. I used these leaves in the other two layouts that I've created after that first one, where the one that I cut them for originally. So I'm just trying to build this cluster in a way that looks pretty. Eventually I'm going to go, with the mint flower. I just felt that looked right. The other ones weren't, I don't know, the colors weren't really working for me. And I just had really so much fun making this. And you can stop, as I said, you can make it as clean or as embellished and as intricate as you want. If you want to make it cleaner, go for a white cardstock, and you can use the same pattern papers that I used. They are mostly white, so you will still get a very clean look, or you can skip the pattern papers and just do the embellished part. So many options. I just love this design. It's basically everything I do at the top I repeat in on the bottom, only smaller, so it really brings everything together. It looks cohesive, and you know, those areas, the top area and the bottom area, they communicate because of those repeating elements. And yeah, here I'm just trying to search for some finishing touches, and I'm going to use a few chipboard hearts, and then I'm going to add lots and lots of splatters with using the two sprays that came in the color kit in September. And they are both shimmery, so they have shimmer in them, and they added a really nice touch, like that little shimmery detail. You could use something also like a gold mist. That's probably one of the things that I can use on every layout, just because it goes so well with everything. But I do like adding those splatters. It just adds that little detail. Also a bit of a more like a messy handmade look, which I personally love. But if you're scared of such things, then you can of course skip this part. And yeah, you can see this came together fast. It was so much fun to make, and I think it looks very intricate, very detailed, and I absolutely love it. So I'm trying now to add some more pieces of those wood veneer because I added that piece at the bottom, so I want to repeat that texture, and I'm trying to find pieces. Eventually I manage. I go with some smaller pieces for the surrounding areas. It's just a bit of a weird shape, that weird hexagon shape, but so it's not something I'm used to using, but I make it work. I make it work. And this is my finished layout. As I said, I really enjoyed making it. I hope you feel inspired to play with your stamps and create something pretty. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day. Bye.